Welcome back, dreamers, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Balance finally gets permission to invade someone's personal space. Rhal is a little concerned about being underground, and Zaltanna makes clear her priorities. Leaving the horses with Sensor, they arrive at the mine and find it to be long abandoned. When Balance finds a partial map of the mines, they at least have a direction to head to within the dark. Will Rajat be able to continue in the mine without passing out? And will Zaltanna be able to get to a depth before the Sandman does? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die. The last we left you guys, Zaltanna had just experienced a really rather interesting dream which involved the Sandman and, as she found out, her wife Adette. You are just waking up. I'm going to leave you guys to it.
Zaltanna is screamed. I think that's where we left it. She woke up and she screamed really, really loudly.
Yeah, so we've already been woken up once quite rudely in the middle of the night. And so I'm just going to go ahead and see how bad I fell at Constitutions. Nope.
Okay, sure. Go for it.
It's an 18. I'm all right.
Okay, cool. That whole Roll20 thing, I might want to be involved in that.
Yeah, DM. You should probably do that.
All right. So all of you get woken up, apart from Balance, because I believe you were trying to sit up with her, weren't you?
Yep. I was trying to get into the dream to help, and that didn't work.
Probably about an hour and a half passes. So it's up to you if you think you would have gone to sleep or not. Kind of relevant because you're going to get a rude awakening either way.
Yeah, and it's a little bit too late now for me to try to be waking up Zaltanna.
So, in that case, you're probably sitting there meditating in and out, or at least thinking or some such. When you hear a scream erupt from Zaltanna, and she sits bolt upright.
Balance stands up with his swords drawn, freaking out. What? A window attack?
Caden comes rushing over, like, what happened? And he also pulls his sword and it lights up green.
Rhal jumps up, scampers to his feet. That's all I could do because he doesn't have a sword.
That's cool.
Zaltanna is now hunched over her bedroll, like hyperventilating, like...
Zaltanna? What happened?
Balance the Sandman.
He got in?
He saw Odette. He knows where she is.
She's alive? Like,
yeah.
confirmed?
Confirmed. Odette is alive.
Oh, shit.
Do you know where?
I have suspicions, but I'm not sure.
But she's alive.
She might not be for much longer. He wants to tear her apart.
Caden puts his sword back in and sits down.
And it's my fault.
The Sandman does have to recuperate from the fight that they had, and then he does have to assumedly make it through a whole bunch of double ones, right?
You don't think the Sandman could take out a bunch of double ones like that? And she, snaps.
I think that he could, but my point is we have a little bit of time. In that time, we need to be... somehow you need to figure out where she is.
Is that what he meant about your dreams with Adette?
Yeah. She's been trying to get through to me.
But perhaps she'll try to tomorrow.
Maybe. Balance, can you keep trying to help me with the dreams?
I can certainly try. I have some ideas for maybe ways that I could enhance my ability to do it. I obviously couldn't succeed tonight, but tomorrow is always another try.
As weird as it sounds, I'd feel a lot better if you were there.
Now that is something that I am surprised to hear. Balance, stay out of my head. Balance, why are you in my head? Get out. Balance, can you get into my head, please?
Well, to be fair, the last 2 times you went in my head it was without asking me.
To be fair, we're all linked, so there's really certain boundaries.
That's
Yeah, there are still limits, dude.
You tried to invade my mind to dig up my memories.
That is a different ability.
And you went in my head while I was having a private conversation. And I understand your issue, but you could have just come up and asked if you could have come into the conversation. And you know what? I actually probably would have let you if you'd asked.
I mean, you saw how Rhal was with the sword. How was I to know that you were your own?
Look, I just don't like you coming in my head without permission. I'm asking you now so you have permission when I'm dreaming to come into my head to help me. But I have my boundaries, just like you do.
All right. Just don't get mad at me if anything gets dug up in the dreams. The subconscious has a tendency to bring up the past when you're dreaming.
Do you want to continue to try and rest, or?
I'm still exhausted, so yes, please. At least for a little bit longer.
I'll take the rest of the night. You will try and settle down or meditate or whatever you do.
Sounds good. Kaden, do you have any sort of sending spell available?
I don't. That's far beyond me.
A familiar?
No, I that's not my particular skill.
Shit.
What if my stalking plane friend could communicate with people?
Do you know how to get in contact with them?
Well, outside of dying, no.
That's not exactly something.
Don't think we should let you die just to send a message, Rhal.
Yeah,
I don't exactly have a way to bring you back.
There has to be some other way.
And none of us know it.
Why don't you all settle down and we'll figure out this in the morning. We can't do anything while you're all exhausted.
Yeah, I'm sorry for waking you guys up.
It's okay.
I don't sleep. Balance just smiles. And then he just sits down and starts meditating.
Y'all go back to sleep?
Yes.
Zaltanna's probably, it's going to be harder for her to fall asleep.
Okay. But assuming she does?
Mm-hmm. You need me to take a...
No.
Okay.
If you think she would fall asleep, then she falls asleep. I'll trust that you can control that.
No, I meant for the dreaming. I figured that wouldn't want to contact her, but, just in case.
You're correct. She is not contacting you.
Okay.
Sorry.
She's dead.
I'm kind of relieved and also very worried that she's not contacting Zaltanna right now.
Guatfo, I guess. Can I have all of your passive perceptions? I know I don't normally ask, but
I'm asleep.
I would like them.
Passive perception is 12.
Just wisdom plus 10, right?
Yep.
It's 13.
Mine is 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
None of us are wise.
I am. Fuck you.
Barely.
Come on. Plus 3 is good.
Plus 3 is great.
It's really good.
If you're proficient in perception, you do add your proficiency bonus to the passive.
I'm not.
Okay. You guys wake up in the morning. Everything's a bit stiff. Everything's a bit sore. You kind of feel like you have a bit of a headache. All of you, just on the left-hand side of one of your temples. Nothing major. It's just there. And you guys wake up. Kaden has breakfast ready, sorted out for you. What you guys kind of see beyond you is a mine shaft that goes deep into the mines. I believe you have a map.
Yep.
The map on this level is... Oh, gosh. Was there 2 or 3 levels?
You said 3.
3, isn't there? Yeah, and there's a way down a bit further on. That's right. I assume you guys are going to follow the map?
Yep.
Cool. I want all of you to make a perception roll.
Non-natural 20.
I got an 8.
13.
With an 8, you're probably, to be fair, you're probably a little bit distracted by the not dead wife thing. So we're going to go, that's probably a good reason as why you're not really paying a whole lot of attention. On your 13, you can hear the sound of falling, rushing water. But it's kind of echoey in here and you can't really quite pinpoint the exact area. But on your 20, you can. And it's sort of towards the area where you'd be looking at going down to the next level. You also pick up the sounds of kind of dragging on a 20, like cloth is being dragged over stone. But it's really faint and off in the distance. You're not entirely sure you heard it, but there's something odd about this place. Sound doesn't bounce the way it should.
I hear water.
Yeah, there's more to it, though.
More water?
It sounds like there's something else. Sounds like cloth being dragged over stone.
You hear that over the water?
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed.
Why?
Do elves have good ears? Like really good?
Typically.
They got big ears, so that probably means that they hear better.
It must help, yeah.
I'm not even going to begin to discuss why that is incredibly racist, but we should try to be stealthy as possible from here on. In case that wasn't obvious by my whispering.
Okay.
You see Caden lift a finger to his lips and just like, shh.
Balance is going to go into the mind link and be like, we can talk in our minds, remember?
Well, good, because I can't whisper in an accent.
Rhal nods, yes.
Oh my god, Casey. Okay, cool. You go into the mind link, you whisper that? Oh, say that?
Yeah.
You don't need to whisper.
Can
Okay.
I make an investigation to see if I can figure out what's causing the sound distortion?
The distortion?
Yeah. Because you're saying that it sounds like the sound isn't echoing, correct?
Unfortunately, you'd have to make an arcana.
I could do that, sure.
Go for it.
13.
There is illusionary magic in the air. You can tell that there is definitely some sort of widespread... Probably the best way to explain it.
Like a dampening field?
Yeah, kind of like a dampener. It's definitely a field of magic. It's definitely an illusionary field of magic. It is definitely, one would probably call it necromantic energies. And it's all in the air, but you can't really pick up much more than that.
Mm.
I'm afraid. Arcana is not 100% your specialty. That was definitely someone else's.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so into the mind link, Balance is going to say, there's magic here. It seems like there's some sort of field. I can't tell what it is, but makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
Huh.
Kaden, any ideas? You're the arcane one here.
You're saying this into the mind link?
Yeah.
Get no response.
Kaden? Balance is going to turn around.
He looks at you, confused.
Rhal, Zaltanna, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Rhal nods.
Mm-hmm.
Balance is going to look at Kaden, point to his own head, and then make like a talking, like using his hand and signing that he's talking.
He looks very confused when he points to his own head and does the movement with his hands. Take an insight check.
Sure. And I always have my aura sight focus. 18.
18. When you look at Caden more intensely, there's something odd about his energy, about his aura. It kind of has that purple flickering glow. Not exactly illusion, but definitely deception. And you also see the yellow hues and sparks of confusion. And a little bit of kind of red indicating a danger sense.
Oh, shit. Balance is going to hold up a finger to Caden, being like, hold on.
He, frowns and just, lifts his shoulder and shakes his head like, sure.
And then Balance is going to turn around, make it look like he's trying to listen intently for the sounds down the hall. And in the mind link, he's going to say to Zaltanna and Rhal, I don't think that's Caden. I think something may have happened.
Why?
There's something off about his aura, and he's not hearing us through the mind link right now, are you, Caden?
No response.
Rhal turns around so that Caden can't see him. He's breathing very heavily. He's trying to calm his breathing down.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
What do you think it is?
I'm not sure. There's some sort of peculiarity to his aura. How do you want to handle this? It could be that it is Caden, but maybe there's some sort of magic taking hold of him. But even still, I don't see why the link would not work.
Take an intellect check for me. Balance.
Sure. Straight up into just intelligence?
Yes, please.
14.
You know that the link doesn't work when you're unconscious. Because you can't use it to dive into each other's dreams. You can hack it.
Right.
But if he's asleep, or unconscious, or dead, it's not going to work.
Balance isn't going to say any of that because he doesn't want a panic roll.
Can't he just talk directly into Zaltanna's head?
Yes, he can, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to, though. Instead, he's going to say through the link, on the count of 3, both of you try to restrain him.
All right.
Rhal, don't make any movements. Speak in your mind. We'll hear it.
You can't see Rhal because he's facing a different direction, but he has a very focused look on his face. He's never done this before. And he's like,
All right.
okay.
When I say 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, those of you who okayed, which one of you is going to take the main grapple check?
Maybe I should. Well,
Yes, you
I should
absolutely
probably do it because I
should.
think I have the higher
Okay.
strength.
In that case, Rhal, how are you assisting her in this?
Oh, goodness. Good question.
Chokehold! Chokehold! Give him the sleeper!
I'll let Zaltanna lead first. I'll let her get the grapple where she wants to grapple.
I'm gonna go for it to restrain his arms behind his back because I'm short.
Okay.
So that
So
feels
you're
like the
behind his
best
back.
decision.
Okay, you can roll with advantage, but I'm going to want narratively description of what you two are doing.
I'm doing an
So-
athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, Rhal's basically taking the help action.
Essentially, yeah, if she gets behind him, then Rhal's pretty tall. He's going to stand in front of Caden and just kind of not really try to do a lot of the grappling, but just kind of try to
Being an
occupy
annoyance
that
presence.
space.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, go for it.
As Balance is counting, Zaltanna slowly, casually walks back like she's checking something out.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the count of 3, when she'll be right close enough to behind Caden, and she's gonna jump to grab his arms in a hold like that.
Okay.
And
Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
roll my athletics with advantage. Give me something good, God. Dice gods. Ooh, non-natural 20.
And he got a 17. Yes, you managed to restrain him. You managed to grab his wrists, pull them behind his back. As he tries to flex and get out of the way, Rhal is basically just standing in his face, just being that annoyance presence of hindering him. You have this Caden. You have a Caden restrained.
One of many.
Does he say anything?
No.
What's his reaction?
He's struggling. He's trying to get out of the grip of this furious little tiny dwarven paladin. And he's making all the appropriate grunting noises of trying to like get the hell out of the action, but he seems annoyed, probably a little bit surprised.
Okay.
Kaeden,
Yeah.
can you tell me about when we first met?
You see the face of Kaeden look a bit confused, and then a bit like they've just been found out, just look at you and smile.
Rhal just looks over at Balance.
Balance is going to draw his swords and put them up to this fake Kaiden's throat in like a scissor formation.
Oh, Rhal's real nervous.
Rhal, you can make a con save.
Rhal,
I know you've been desperate too.
No, this is a real bad time for all
But it
this.
would be so quite fun.
It is a 20. I'm okay.
You got a 20, you're absolutely fine.
And Balance is going to get really close to this guy's face. Who are you? And what have you done with Kaeden?
Take an intimidation roll. With advantage because he's restrained.
Sure. Non-natural 20.
God damn, guys. He looks at you, he doesn't lose the smile and the intensity of his gaze. And he kind of twists his head almost like 90 degrees. And you just hear this click as he finally puts his head on his shoulder. And you see his kind of neck beginning to twist and change. He says, he isn't here, but I am.
that's obvious. Doesn't answer the question, though. Who are you?
I don't have a name yet, but I'll take Kaeden.
No, you can't have that one.
I already did. Won't be long before I really am Kaeden.
Better question. What are you?
Kind of like twists his head round, like almost rolling, and looks back at you. So his head is sort of like facing the other direction.
Okay, just so you know, like for further reference, humans can't do that.
Oh. Good thing I'm not human.
No, obviously. You're freaky, whatever the fuck you are.
What did you do with Kaeden?
And you see his head just roll the other way to look over at Rhal and look up at him a little bit, I guess. Yeah, we'll be up at him. He says, he's dying. You all have the headache, right? And he just like rolls his head to the other side of his shoulder.
What of it?
We found very interesting things with that one. He's linked with you all. You're feeling his pain, aren't you?
Ah, so he's not dead yet.
My brothers are becoming Kaeden too. My sisters are becoming Kaeden.
Where is he?
He is in the walls of this place. He is far below. He is standing here. He is walking the mines.
Rhal's going to use all of his punching attacks.
Oh my god.
Go for it. Go for it. I believe you had advantage because he's restrained.
Yep.
Go for it. Just beat the snot out of him. Go for it.
Because, like, the fact that now there's been saying there's multiple Kaedens, like, this isn't Caden's body, I'm pretty convinced. Or Rhal is,
Sure?
anyways.
Yes,
I
that
mean-
hits. Which was a 24.
24 to hit for 8 bludgeoning and 19 to hit for 5 bludgeoning.
That hits.
I'm going to not use key. Just hold off a second.
Okay. Where are you punching? What's you say you're using? Oh, you're punching. How does that look? What's this
I'm-
like?
Trying to break ribs.
Oh. You feel as you like basically punch that, like essentially what you think would be the same rib twice. On the second punch, you feel that wonderful cracking feel that you've been kind of like wanting, but then you kind of see his body like jar and shift quickly, and you just see their rib just kind of like pop back out and then pop back into place. And he sort of like rolls his head forward, and like you see a kind of like a black globule just like spit from his mouth.
Balance is gonna just stare this guy down and say in a very serious and dark tone, "You know, I've been waiting for a chance to see how far I can push myself. See how easy it would be for me to wrench the secrets from someone. Maybe I'll start with you then. See how many of the secrets I can pull from you." And Balance is going to use his minor illusion to make it look like his eyes like glow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can either tell me what I want without injury, or I can pull them from you. Your choice.
Take an intimidation roll. It's going to be kind of difficult.
That's a 9. Fuck.
Sorry, you could have that with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that was my bad.
4. All right. So nope, that's a 9.
He looks at you and like twists his shoulders around and like rolls his head, and you see that the features of Kaeden are beginning to like distort and like drag downwards a little bit. It says, "Your petty tricks don't scare me, boy."
Then I'll use the real ones. And I'm going to use Hammer of Inquisition on him.
Go for it. What does it do? Explain for the audience at home.
Hammer of Inquisition. As an action, choose a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d10 psychic damage per psi point spent. I'm just going to use 1. And suffers disadvantage on its next wisdom saving throw before the end of your next turn. On a success, it takes half as much damage.
All right, DC is 14.
Yep.
All right. See, this is where I have to roll because the physical stats are Kaeden's, but Faken. The physical stats of Faken are not
right.
mental. That's a 19.
Fuck.
He looks at you and just like begins to laugh, and you see like Faken's jaw just like kind of like almost like wax melting, just like pull down into his chest a little bit.
He does take 1 psychic damage, by the way.
Okay, he takes the 1 psychic damage.
You're resilient, but I'm determined. And I am going to hit him with another Hammer of Inquisition. Because I want answers.
Natural 20.
God.
This guy.
This is all you have. Excuse me while I leave.
No.
Zaltanna, I need you to make an opposed grapple check.
So, athletics again?
Yep. He got a 15.
I got a 23. I
That's
crit.
a natty.
That is a nat.
Natural 20. You feel like his arms roll and you feel the bones like shift into his flesh, but you're like, fuck this, just envelop into a big like bear hug.
Mm-hmm.
So you can feel the bones shifting underneath the skin of whatever the hell this thing is, but you do have it in a tight grasp. This motherfucker is not going anywhere.
She like kind of looks over at Balance and she says in her scariest fucking voice to the just her scariest fucking voice, she goes, "Hey Balance, I know you can do better than that. I know that you have other things that you can do to him to make him tell us the truth. And if you can't, I can squeeze it out of him." And I'm going to take an intimidation check.
Oh, damn right you are. With advantage because you guys have the upper hand.
Yes, goddamn. Well, it's fine.
Damn. That's an 8.
Man, and I have like fucking really good intimidation too. It's like,
You do, yeah. But not this day. The creature seems nonplussed by this. Other than the fact it can't get out, it's pretty convinced eventually it will. It is a squirmy thing.
I'm going to squeeze it.
Okay, take a... This is going to be a really difficult strength check. Are you trying to cause him harm, or what is your intent with this?
Yeah, I'm trying to hurt him a little bit.
Okay, it will technically be an improvised attack, so sure, go for a strength.
Strength check?
Yeah, go for it.
That is a non-natural 20.
Damn, girl. I think like improvised is supposed to be 1 point, but roll a d4. It is a kind of large, squishy, kind of fluid kind of type creature.
All 4 of those points, baby.
Damn, girl. You also feel a clicking, a cracking of like bones underneath. It's wonderful because you caused the damage. You do feel them click back into place, but not quite perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Rhal's gonna take his arm like he's trying to pin the thing around the neck, just over his shoulders, and he's gonna open his mouth and basically put his mouth on this thing's neck, and with his arm be holding the back of his neck close in place so that it can't go anywhere. And I'm just gonna be kind of continuously doing this acid spit thing, and as much as I can, I'm gonna melt this thing.
Okay, sure.
Basically biting this thing's neck, but...
Go for it. You're going to go for the reverse vampire. Damn. I'm not sure why that's with advantage, but sure.
Oh, because I've had advantage earlier and I didn't click.
It doesn't do anything anyways.
I say it doesn't do anything.
Oh, and damage now. Okay.
So he's supposed to be doing a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, so he's going to do that at disadvantage because he's being held. Although I'm not entirely sure how he's getting out from that description, but we need to give him a chance.
Well, he can try to wiggle his neck out of
No, he got a natural 1 with a disadvantage, so no. And he will be taking all of that acid damage.
Neil, actually, you're missing a d6 of damage on there.
That is not my breath weapon, sir. That is just my saliva.
Not his breath weapon.
Oh.
We have an agreement. He and I have an agreement. Because of what he is.
A gentleman's agreement.
We have a gentleman's agreement, yes.
That is only saliva.
That is only his saliva. That's as much as his saliva can handle.
Gotcha.
I would also like you to make a con saving throw, however.
Okay.
Because producing all this excess acid is painful.
Yeah, if he's trying to force it, for sure, yeah.
Yes, this is definitely above and beyond what the normal agreement was, so yes.
9.
9, oh dear. I will give you the option. Either you are going to bleed from the nose and pass out, or you are going to bleed from the nose and suffer some damage.
I will suffer some damage.
Okay.
I will say that he's riding kind of a...
Pissed off high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No time to be passing out?
He takes 1 damage. It's pathetic. Goddamn dice.
Oh, I take 1 damage?
Yeah, you take 1 damage.
How's this guy handling it?
This thing, as I say, I wanted to deal with Rhal first because he's our PC and we love him. You guys just like see Rhal basically do a reverse vampire in this thing, and you kind of see this flesh begin to smoke a little bit as this acid begins to like cut through the flesh at the Faken's neck, and you kind of see the bones underneath also begin to like kind of turn a blackish color, and you kind of hear it kind of like scream out a bit in pain, like ah. It's not looking healthy.
Oh my!
It's not looking healthy.
I'm gonna say to it, you want to tell us where the real Kaeden is now and what you are? Or do you want some more acid? I'm going to try to intimidate it again.
Go for it.
I had 12 this time.
Advantage, you guys are kicking the shit out of it.
Right. 12, still 12.
Nope. The creature just like hisses like, I'm not telling you anything.
I'm going to squeeze it again.
Go for it. Take another strength check.
That's a 10.
You pretty much used most of your strength earlier. You don't feel anything significant happening inside. Just feel like like he's been winded a little bit. Mm-hmm. Nothing significant.
She's gonna look at Balance and she's gonna be like, anything you can do to help?
I suppose. What's your name? Your real name, assuming you have one.
I don't have a name yet. Name is Kaeden.
I think we should call him Bob.
No, that's too decent of a name. It's got to be something ridiculous, like Dick.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll call him Dick.
Okay, Dick. Got it. Good name.
All right, Dick. I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to answer it. How does that sound? Good? Great. I don't care which answers regardless. And I'm going to use my forceful query ability on him.
Okay. Explain to the audience what that is.
I will absolutely do so. Forceful query is, as an action, I can ask a question of one creature that can see and hear me within 30 feet. Question must be phrased so that it can be answered with a yes or no, otherwise it fails. And the target needs to succeed on a wisdom save or replies with a truthful answer. A creature is immune if they are immune to being charmed.
You can certainly give it a go then.
So it needs to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
13, it fails.
All right. And the question I'm going to ask is, are your compatriots taking Kaeden somewhere dangerous?
Yes.
Right. Well, I think that's all I really need to know. I'm pretty sure I know where it is you're heading based on what I heard earlier. Anything else you two would like to ask, or anything that I should ask before we press on?
I want to know how many of them there are, because I think I know what's going on here. Remember the story that I don't know if you guys heard the story about this mine where the last people that came here, like they returned and destroyed the entire town, and they were like not themselves.
You think they may be doppelganger type characters?
Yeah. I think it was the same fucking thing as Dick here. We solved it. We solved the mystery.
It's not too much of a trouble, I think. They die easy enough, right, Dick? Just look at you. Look how fucked up you are already.
Hey, Dick.
He does truly look fucked up. His face is contorted like dribbling wax. Like you can see one of the eyes, like the huge socket underneath it is that kind of like it's beginning to draw down. He has a nice hole in his neck area, which is kind of slightly steaming. His arms are twisted the wrong way. His head is laying on his shoulder and like wrapped around at an odd angle. And he has this nice like squeeze mark in the center, almost like a perfect hourglass figure, but it's not meant to be there. He does look pretty fucked up.
Hey, Dick, listen. You look pretty fucked up, and you've given us some helpful information. You tell us one more thing, and we'll let you go.
My brothers will eat you.
That's fine, but you won't die. So what's the harm in answering one question?
I gave you information.
No,
My brothers
the
will
one question
eat you.
I need you to answer for me is how many of them are there?
Enough.
That's not an answer. Come on, Dick. Don't you want to live?
He doesn't respond.
I'll take that as a no. And Balance is going to take both his swords, and he's going to do like a cross slash against the guy's throat, try to decapitate him.
Rhal is still occupying that space.
Whatever the
Rhal
space
hasn't
is
gone.
where he isn't.
Okay.
Beneath
Rhal
the chin.
raises. Like there is Zaltanna behind him with her arms wrapped around it. There is Rhal on the front of it with his head like buried into his neck, still kind of like dribbling like a fool. There's not a lot of this creature that you can get to.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say between the three of you, you absolutely made coup de grace this guy. So I'll let it decide between the three of you how you want to finish him off.
I think that Rhal should get it.
Rhal, why don't you just close your mouth? Just keep going.
Yeah, Rhal will put more pressure on, but he does do the acid again.
Okay. I won't make you roll. You're basically just gonna dissolve this guy.
Oh, I was kind of hoping you just tear out his throat with your big dragon teeth, but
That's what I was hoping. Just kind of like crunch.
I could do that too, but I'm also like weakening the flesh.
All right. So you're gonna weaken the flesh and then rip his throat out with your teeth. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
It's gross. It's gruesome. I love it. You rip it. It tastes like rotten mango. Like, you know,
Ugh.
oh no, even worse. Like, you know,
Ugh.
when you accidentally drink off milk, that's exactly how it tastes in your mouth.
Yeah. We're all gags.
gross.
Balance is very quickly going to sheath his weapons, and he's going to try to search the area to see if any of Kaeden's belongings got left behind.
Okay. To be fair, it's going to be blatantly obvious. You've been walking with this guy for a bit. These are Caden's swords. Or sword, rather.
So this thing actually took his stuff.
Yes, this has Caden's sword. His clothing, not so much, but this is Caden's sword.
Oh, shit.
Zaltanna's going to let go of the body, walk up to Rhal, and lay on hands for 5.
Oh, damn. No, I've only taken 1 hit point.
Lay on hands for 1.
Oh, she basically like puts her hand over the really tiny little wounds that you have, and you guys see like the mite of tear come down and heal this paper cut as you see this bright light like emit from the cut, and then
I thought he got hit injured worse because of his acid dribble.
It was just 1 point.
Just one.
You basically would have seen it fuck with his mouth a little bit and maybe run down his neck as he was releasing acid. And you probably, if you were paying attention, you would have noticed that he would flinch every now and then.
Yeah, so she's going to heal him for 1 point.
Yeah, just like this tiny little kind of like crack that's appeared in his jaw. That's just, the might of Tyr summoned down to do not much more than a paper cut.
Yeah, you would know that he wasn't that injured.
Yeah.
Well,
but still, it has been done.
Balance is going to take Caden's longsword and just like strap it over his shoulder.
Pretty sure it's a short sword.
Is it? You've described it as a longsword in the past.
yeah, you have.
I have. Oh, I meant to put it down to a short sword. Ah, long sword. Why the fuck not? He's a badass. Can put whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, if he's a strength character, then it should be a longsword anyways.
He's a something character.
He's a something character, all right.
He's a something character.
All right, so Balance is going to strap it to his back and be like, right, we need to get moving. Wherever they're taking him, it's somewhere down by the water, I assume. We're going to have to be careful, though. There's magic ahead.
You all feel a sharp stabbing pain in the neck, like opposite to the side that you feel the pain in your temple, and then it dulls down to the same kind of ache as in your temples.
They're probably abusing Caden on the way down. We need to move.
Okay. Rhal, you
Zaltanna
okay?
at the front.
You got it.
Rhal looks really scared, but he nods at you.
Zaltanna takes her shield off her back and holds it out in front.
Cool.
You have a shield?
Rhal,
Yeah.
need you to make one of those things.
Okay, this is going to be like a thing. That's 6.
Oh, ow.
You had
choice?
to make a character like this.
You
Neil.
have a choice.
You
It was his
had
choice to do this. This is the one check I'm going to make you do.
Rhal's riding his adrenaline. He'll take the HP.
Okay.
His
That
adrenaline.
paper cut that got miraculously healed earlier.
Right back.
Yeah.
With vengeance. You guys see him dribble excessively, and you see kind of like slight burn marks appear both sides of his maw as he takes 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Zaltanna's going to turn around and be like,
Go.
Balance.
Don't worry about it.
No,
Go.
wait. Balance.
What?
I'm too short. Can you just like wipe his face for him with his sweater or something?
I'm okay. We got to go. Caden is not
I'm
okay.
worried
I'm
about
fine.
you.
Priorities, people.
Fine. I care about Caden too. I'm just worried about you too because you dribble in acid all of you.
Walk and talk. Walk and talk.
She is.
Balance
She
is like ushering.
She is walking
ushering.
and talking.
I'm going to make the gross assumption that you guys are walking and talking using your mind link.
Running.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
As everyone's arguing, Rhal closes his eyes and he's really trying to suppress any emotion that he
No,
feels.
Rhal, eyes open. That's how you fall and bust your ass.
He's trying. He's trying to suppress any emotions that he has.
I'm also going to take the other big leap that someone has a light source for Rhal.
No.
I do. I have a candle, I think. No, I still have torches. Here, I'm going to give him a torch.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if I close my eyes.
Rhal has torches.
Rhal has torches.
Just put.
Rhal-
I'm just saying. Otherwise, you're running in a dark mine. You have no idea where you're going. You're a bit of sea dickle.
Also, it's okay if there's no light source. Rhal can just put his hand on Balance's shoulder and like the conga line.
Okay, you're running with or without a light. This I actually do need to know.
No, I'm gonna give him. I have a torch for him.
We'll be moving, and as we're moving, we can light a torch.
Yeah,
I would assume you'd have had one already. That's
yes,
kind of what
okay.
I'm running on because you had Caden faking there too.
Mhm.
Okay.
True. Okay.
All right, you guys follow your way along to the next level down. Your map at this level is not complete, but you do manage to make your way down. It's a bit of a trek, and it takes you a good couple of hours to cross this particular level, but nothing else of real significance happens in this particular journey. You find a spiral kind of hewn into the rock as it goes down, pretty much as it was above. And at the bottom of this, you can all hear this rushing waterfall. And there's only a single path that's been hewn from here. You can see the beginnings of other shafts going out behind you and going to one side. But the one directly in front of you is the longest, and you can hear directly coming at the end of this, there is definitely the sound of falling water.
Do I still hear the sound of the dragging cloth and whatnot?
take a perception check for me. It's going to be a bit more difficult here because you are so close to the water source. The rest of you are also welcome to make this check as well, since it has been pointed out.
I got a 4.
Okay.
You do not hear anything except the water, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I would look on the ground for footprints.
Okay.
I got a 5.
You do not hear anything except the water, I'm afraid.
10. Ugh.
You do not see anything except that flickering torch, and that there is in fact ground beneath you. You also don't hear anything over the sound of the water.
Fuck. I assumed they would be going the main headway here, but... let me have a look around. Hang on a second. Balance wants to check like the ground and check the area, see if there's any like threads of cloth that may have fallen off or anything that would be...
Take a survival check.
All right.
You are kind of technically tracking.
Yeah. 12.
You do not really see much. You can tell that the pathway ahead of you has been travelled. You don't really get any more real information than that.
Balance. Kaeden could track us. Can you do that too?
As far as I understood it, it was only one way. I can certainly try, though. I've never really explored it.
I don't know. We're linked somehow. Maybe there's something we can do to figure out the general location.
I can try. Balance is going to close his eyes and try to see if it's possible.
Okay, define what you want to do, and then we'll all have an open discussion about what we kind of think the kind of role would be.
Knowing that Kaeden has the ability to know our locations, Balance wants to try to reverse that and see if he can find his location.
Okay, how would that look or feel?
Tracing the throbbing pain that he's getting, like the headache, now that he understands that's probably coming from Kaeden and Link, he wants to use that as like a thread and try to follow it back.
That's perfect. Okay. So what kind of role do we think this would be? Because you have just described kind of almost like a physical emotional response. I would either say my gut on this would be wisdom.
I would agree with that.
That's my gut.
Or Arcana.
Since it's magic based.
Yes, I would take
Since
that
you're
also.
trying to follow the link that's being created via Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, let's go with
I'll take
Arcana.
Go for it.
All right. 22.
Damn.
Damn! Closest damn is to swearing.
Balance
yes.
smart.
You sit down, you close your eyes, and you meditate, and you focus on that feeling in yourself. You reach out in the link to where you know 2 other people are feeling this exact same feeling right next to you. And you kind of feel that connection. And as you go out and feel them, you feel a third pull. And as you feel that, you rush, your mentality, your consciousness rushes out towards that. And then as it comes back, you know almost exactly where he is. He is from where you are, kind of in a diagonal from where this the longer pathway that has been hewn out. It's kind of in an angle off of that in the distance. And it appears to be down.
Okay. So it seems like I would have to go straight and then there should be some sort of like side passage.
You would assume that if you went straight along this long, there would be a turning somewhere. At least that's where he would be.
Okay. Balance is immediately going to stand up, be like, all right, I did it. I know where he is. Follow me. And then Balance is going to take the lead and start running.
Rhal gets really excited. He like punches your arm, like kind of celebratory.
Ow, fuck, no, ow.
You get the feeling that this is probably like a Rhal and Bogrim celebratory type thing.
Rhal, too hard.
Yes, it would be too hard. There's definitely a bruise, but not any actual physical HP damage.
Turn it back.
You really want to?
No, I'm not going to punch you out.
No, let's not do that.
Stay behind the shield.
You yell as Balance goes hurtling down this corridor. He is some distance off. He's not close, but you kind of know where he is.
God damn it, Balance, I have tiny legs. She says in their mind link.
Then you better hurry.
I assume that all this conversation is in the mind link.
Yeah.
This run is quite long. As you're running along this, you see that there are branches off to the left and off to the right, but you know you're going straight. You know that's your direction. You are outstripping Zaltanna by quite a bit because this is a very long run. Are you going to slow down for her?
Fuck.
I have tiny legs.
Rhal's not very she'll make it.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna leave her in the dust, but
yeah, great idea.
I could go 40. I'm going 30. Regardless.
Leave your tank behind. Great decision.
You guys run for like 15, 20 minutes. You are aware that you have left Zaltanna behind quite a bit.
Damn.
And you see, I'm going to say that Zaltanna is a good minute behind. As you guys come to this open area, it suddenly just opens out into a cavern. The cavern seems to have what would look like crates and chests all over the place. You can see there are a couple of bedrolls laying out here. You can see that there's a table and an old fireplace, but you don't know how long, a cooking place, and you don't know how long that hasn't been out. And there appears to be just like one larger exit off of this, but it's sort of like behind what looks like a barricade of stuff other than the bedrolls and like the chests. All the other pieces of furniture are kind of like blocking this main exit out, other than the one that you're coming in through.
And it seems like that's the direction they went?
You kind of like think back. You feel back. And yes, it kind of feels like that direction is the one that Kaeden would have gone in.
All right. Balance is going to turn back to Rhal. Fuck, we need to wait for Zaltanna to get here. We need to move this shit out of the way. While we're waiting for Zaltanna to catch up, Balance is just going to turn to Rhal, put his hands on his shoulder. Rhal, I know this is stressful. I appreciate that you've been keeping up as best you can. We're going to get Kaeden back, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Look at me.
Right.
Look at me.
Yeah, he looks at you.
We're going to get it. All right?
Zaltanna turns up.
Oh, that was fast.
Thank God you guys stopped. Jesus Christ.
We kind of had no choice. There's a bunch of shit blocking our way. Can you muscle it out of the way? I'm not really.
I could acid it.
Nah, let me take care of it.
You seem to hurt yourself with your acid. Why don't we let the muscle do it?
Well, not when I'm using it. Okay, fine.
If you want to help.
I'll grab a chair, fine.
So who's moving stuff in the barricade? I was about to say you don't need to make a strength check if just moving crap. So I'm ignoring that.
All right,
okay,
thank you.
Cool. That was a crit fail.
Just ignoring that. Otherwise, you just pull a muscle in your back. No, she rolled a natural 1 on a strength check. Like I wasn't going to ask because it's just pieces of thing that you could just move with enough time, which you would have to take to do this. You're not going to hurt yourself.
Neil, make that a blooper.
He's so funny.
Okay, sure.
Zaltanna falls headfirst into the furniture and passes out.
I was more thinking that she basically she lifts this really huge heavy table, I've got this, and puts it down, and she reaches down, she picks up a small bag and oh no, and then she feels like a muscle in her back go, and that's it, she's totaled for the rest of this entire campaign. So it's Zaltanna that is clearing this barricade. Is anyone helping her?
Yeah, I'm trying the best I can.
Okay, so you're helping. What are you doing, Balance? It's going to take them time to clear this.
While they're clearing it, Balance is going to do a quick check of any of the chests that are in the area, see if there's anything useful in them. Because Balance is nothing if not practical.
Sure, take an investigation for me.
Sure. 19.
19. Looking around, there's only really odds and ends in the trunks themselves. There's nothing worth a damn. You do find a couple of notepads. They seem to be written in Dwarvish, but it's kind of using a really old style of speaking.
I'll take those.
Are you looking at them?
No, not immediately, but I'll pack it. I'll bag them for later.
Okay. Sure. Cool.
Do I find any crowbars or pickaxes or anything?
No, you do not.
Shovel?
You want a shovel? Sure, have a shovel.
Well, no.
That's fine. If you would like a shovel and a pickaxe, there is a shovel and a pickaxe there.
More so the pickaxe, because what I'm thinking is that Balance would find the pickaxe, hand it to Rhal, and just be use this as a lever to try to nudge shit out of the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see what you want to do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There are odd bits and pieces here. Sure, why not?
All right, yeah, so Balance is going to find something, toss it over to Rhal, be like, here, use this, use it as a lever.
Instead of doing the smart thing that Balance has told him to do, Rhal's going to start hacking away at the bigger things that are kind of maybe like bigger chairs that are made of wood.
Rhal,
that's
Balance will go over and be like, no, Rhal, brain, not brawn. Look, you wedge it underneath and then push. It's called a lever.
I know, I am not that strong. I can break them down into smaller pieces. It's manageable.
Balance is rubbing his temples.
It really doesn't take that long to clear this barricade. Now you have a pickaxe and 3 of you kind of working in on this thing. You clear it enough that you guys can scramble over it. Cool. The kind of pathway ahead is it's kind of wide. It's definitely been worked. And you continue along this for, again, a bit of a trek. Are you running? Are you walking?
Running with Zaltanna, staying in range this time.
Good. Don't split the party, you dicks. You guys run along with this, and you can see there's clearly evidence of mining work down here. There are crates, there are kind of like little trucks with wheels on them that's filled with like debris and shiny items, gems, gold, whatever. There seems to be like have a bit of a system. Like one side is useful stuff, the other side is just crap. They need to get out of the way. You can see that there are lots of these going on, and because there's evidence of pretty rough mining work happening here. And you go forward, and you see kind of this little opened out area, and this is where the sound of the rushing water is coming from. You look up, and this is a very, very high shaft. I mean, you're on a ground level of sorts. There is a waterfall that starts a good couple of 100 feet up. You can't quite see the very top of it, and it's rushing down through what looks like a hole in this in the floor that you're on. You can also see as you arrive there are a couple of skeletal remains just kind of near the edge of where the water passes through this hole into whatever it is below, and you can hear the sound of, well, possibly maybe a river, and you can see skeletal remains there. It's clearly they are broken, they are smashed, they are torn all over the place, and you can see off to the left-hand side there is a kind of petrified dwarven remains of a miner, dark green shirt, dark trousers, and on their lap there is a book, which seems to be open. You can see there's kind of like stains of blood around. You can see from the bone structure that one of the legs has been broken, and you can see that there is remains of what looks like a smaller creature, possibly a gnome, who has evidence of being set on fire. This is what you guys see.
Balance is going to grab the book.
Okay. Nerd. You have the book.
He's just going to put it in his bag for now because they're still in a rush, so there's no time for light reading, but knowledge is knowledge.
Cool.
And knowledge is power.
It is. Knowledge is power. Balance is the definition of that. Do I get a sense of what direction ahead?
It seems like maybe through the waterfall, but down. Like
down.
If you were facing the waterfall, like directly facing it straight on, It feels like forward, but down a bit.
Are there any other passageways?
Nope.
Shit. Guys, I think we have to go down the water.
Down the water? How do you mean? Like
Does
swimming?
not sound optimal.
That does not sound optimal in the slightest.
Zaltanna looks down at her heavy armor and shield, and then back up at you.
Do either of you have any rope?
Ooh. I think so, actually.
No.
I believe my first adventurer's kit or my first dungeoneering kits have rope.
Rhal's not an adventurer.
I don't. Mine doesn't.
No, I don't. I was wrong. I have the priest pack, so
nope, that won't have it.
I have.
Mine was kind of a special pack.
I have vestments that we could make into rope.
What kit does Rhal have?
He doesn't. I lived in Falsam. I'm not an adventurer. I don't really have a backpack with things in it because I just have a house with things in it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Rhal's just not an adventurer.
And I'm ex-nobility?
Cool.
This is a
what
problem.
What you guys want to do?
Can Balance look around and see if there is any rope from the miners?
There isn't.
Oh my god. I have.
So there isn't. Looking around, take an intelligence check for me.
23.
Damn.
The whole load of skeletal remains that look like they're broken and smashed apart looks like they descended from a great height. The other two, probably miners.
Ooh, wait, are there like clothes on these miners at all? Or like
On the miners, yeah. On the probably miners. Would you get a 23?
Yeah.
They don't look like miners. They don't have pickaxes near them. They don't have all the gear that you'd expect them to be wearing. They look like adventurers.
do we see anyone's does he see anyone's adventuring backpacks?
That's a valid
On
question.
a 23.
That's an intelligence check for what he's seen. Ah, you crazy motherfuckers. Yes. Next to the one that's sitting upright, the one that had the book on the lap, you would have seen that they were leaning back against an adventurer's kit. Why the hell not?
All right. Balance is going to just turn to Zaltanna. Check the bag there. See if there's anything of use. I want to check something real quick. I had a thought.
All right. She puts her shield back on her back, and she walks over, like shoves the dead dude off of his backpack.
Okay.
He's dead. What the fuck does it matter?
Yep,
And
that's fine.
she opens the backpack.
You find the adventurer's kit. Let me just double check exactly what's in it because it would be missing items. I just need to make sure they're missing the items I think they would be. Adventure.
There is food. It's just real nasty.
There's no rations. I can tell you that for a kick.
There is 1 foot of rope.
Also, you can argue that, yeah, if he had fallen from a height and had rope, he probably would have been able to.
Rolling your 23
get out.
intellect, these two, the ones that are kind of petrified remains, the ones petrified remain, one looks like they've been burnt, didn't fall from the height. The
Oh, okay.
others did.
Gotcha.
The ones that fell from the height probably look much, 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 much older.
But there's no rope in there.
I said adventurer's kit. That's why I couldn't find it. It doesn't exist. They would have an explorer's pack.
Yeah, there's generally 50 foot of hempen rope in there, I think.
Yep. There is a backpack clearly because it has one. There's a bedroll, a mess kit. There's 1 torch. There are no rations. There is an empty water skin, and there is about 25 foot of hempen rope tied to the side of it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab the torch, toss it to Rhal.
Thank you.
I imagine Rhal's not paying attention, just kind of thunk.
No,
in the head.
actually, what Rawl's doing at the moment is he's going over to the waterfall, and he's going to
Yeah.
sit in like the pool of water and kind of close his eyes and cover his ears and kind of try to calm himself down.
There is a kind of pool of water here.
Yeah.
But as you sit down in that to try and calm yourself down, it's fairly obvious that this waterfall is passing through a hole in this platform that you guys are kind of on and this ground level that you're on. And the water clearly goes down and under. And just by listening, you can kind of hear like a small like flow of water, like you would assume some sort of river. And it seems to be flowing back underneath you. So waterfall comes out, goes down, flows forward.
Okay.
It's just a hole in the floor with the water going through it.
Yep. So there would be splash water where you're sitting. Where you're sitting, there's also like small debris and shards of bone everywhere. So
Then
Neat.
that's not going to
Just gonna
bother me. The water calms Rawl down, so he's
That's
trying
fine.
to calm
Yeah, yeah.
himself down the best he can.
And as you're calming yourself down, a torch thunks you on the head.
Oh, thanks.
gently bats you on the head. Yeah.
Yeah, gently thunks.
While Zaltanna's going through the bag, Balance wants to take a look around and see if maybe there's any hidden passageways or anything like that. Because it doesn't make sense that these things would take a body and just jump down a waterfall. Seems kind of peculiar.
What were you looking and where?
Looking around this room, like the walls, checking the floor, see if there's like any hidden doors or anything.
Okay. You can see 60 foot in darkness,
Yep.
and then another 30 foot as if dim.
I think it's just flat 60.
All right, we'll say 60 plus 60 for a torch, so you can see 120 foot. I'm just going to rule that. That's what's happening right now. This is
Sure.
what you can see. Because the light reflecting, yada, 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 you can see 120 foot in this situation. I'll go from there. Okay, take an investigation check for me.
16.
You can see that the waterfall is a good hundreds of foot high. You can't see beyond the 120, but you can't see where it's coming down from. But you do notice that around the side of the waterfall, as you kind of walk towards it and realize there's kind of a little bit of a ledge to the left, a little bit of ledge to the right around it. As you go to the left one, you see that there's kind of like a small plaque, just this kind of small little bronze plaque, and it just has kind of this kind of little depression in it, about a hand. It's dark inside the depression.
There's no writing or anything, right?
Nope.
Rhal, bring your torch over here, please.
Rhal gets up and wanders over.
As you kind of wander over the torch, you can see this depression is probably about. If you were to put your hand in it, your hands are too big. If you were to put your hand in this depression, it would be pretty much flush with the back of your hand.
Whose hand is too big for it?
Yours.
Mine? Oh. Does anyone have smaller hands than me?
I have a tail.
I don't know. Are my hands smaller?
Yes.
Yo, as soon as I get this rope untied.
Well, we might not need that. Come over here and place your hand in here. It may be that there's a door here.
Okay. She's also going to pocket the mess kit.
Okay, cool.
And she's going to leave off untying the rope and walk over.
Zaltanna has gauntlets, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, she'll take them off.
No. Keep your gauntlets on.
Okay.
Just in case. Just in case. You never know.
You're putting your hand in this depression?
Yes. I know that's technically the correct way to say it, but in my head that sounded so weird.
Okay. You place your hand in this depression and you kind of like put your hand in it, and then it kind of like you feel like click as you kind of push a little bit, as if you pushed a button. And all of you can hear the sound of whirring gears and clacking, that kind of like metal on metal sound. And then you hear this awful like screeching sound of metal being dragged against something like, far tougher, like a rock. And you see that the water is slowly beginning to stop, and then it's completely stopped. You don't hear the sound of rushing water. You don't see the waterfall flowing down, and the river underneath, that sound has stopped too. And as you look across, you can see there is a long, empty passageway on the other side of where the waterfall would be. And it appears to be going down.
Da 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 da.
We're going da da da.
Valence is just gonna turn, look at the passageway, and go, "Damn, I'm good."
I'm still going to take that rope, though. Could be useful.
Oh, absolutely. We should get moving.
Yeah. Zaltanna's going to go grab the rope that, finish untying it, grab it, put it in her
When
backpack.
you take your hand away, you guys can hear the sound of metal being scraped on stone, and you hear the sound of gears,
And
water begins to trickle back in.
Oh, son of a bitch, are you serious?
Stick the dead hand in there.
There is kind of a hole to clear to get into this, by the way. Just as a heads up, y'all got some time pressure right now.
Does it look like if we ran for it, we could probably make it all into the tunnel?
Oh, yeah. Run and jump, or you could very carefully make your way around the edge. That would take a bit of an acrobatics. So it's acrobatics or athletics, essentially. Acrobatics to kind of like a jump across this hole, or athletics to kind of do that climbing thing where you put like one leg over a hole and then into hopefully the other side and pull yourself over. These are kind of what I see your options to be. Unless there's something else.
I'm going to acrobat that fucking thing because that's all I can do.
Wait,
Me too.
Can't we whatever? I'll do an athletics because I'm better at that.
Okay. I do warn you, if you fall, you will fall.
I feel like, isn't there, can't we just see if there's something? Ooh. Wait, we have dead bodies.
Balance is about to take a running start. Yes, we do.
We could.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
The water
Balance.
by this point has basically just back down.
Balance.
Yes.
Come on. You're smart. Use that big brain of yours. You know where I'm going with this.
But does it have to be pressure on it? A dead body
Yes.
can't put pressure on it.
Was it like a heavy pressure that she had to do to make it click, or was it just like touching
Not
it?
really, just a slight touch. It just her hand was the correct size to push this in all the points.
Okay, all right. I like this. I like this where this is going. Balance is going to run over where the bodies are.
Okay.
Rhal shoves a torch in there.
In where?
In the hole.
Rhal!
An entire torch won't fit into the small dwarf hand.
Really?
Depression.
But
a torch is like
but a bone hand will.
like a torch is like quite long. It's longer than like the palm of your hand.
Dwarf hands are
So
small.
you can't put it into a hand like okay. So a torch is longer than a normal human hand because it's a torch. You have to wrap your hand around it and not be set fire by it. So you couldn't fit that in there.
Well, I was going to put
the
stick end of it.
Yeah. So you can use the stick end to depress it, but you can't wedge it in there because the torch is just simply too long.
Okay.
And wasn't one of those dead people a gnome?
A gnome and a dwarf, I think.
Exactly.
Gnome was
Perfect
on
size
fire.
hands.
Dwarf was not.
Balance is going to grab the dwarf body and start hauling it over.
I'm gonna help.
Okay. Your plan is you take the hand.
We're going to
We're
put
gonna
the
put the
hand on the
hand-
depression and situate the body in such a way that it's like leaning against it so it stays in.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go grab the gnome and like put the gnome on top of the dwarf for extra pressure.
Oh wow. I think that's too funny to make you guys roll anything.
There are lives at stake here. These ones are already spent.
That's crazy as shit. Zaltanna, damn it, Zaltanna, Balance. You can both have my form of inspiration. You have that shit. Fucking hell, that's ridiculous.
Yay.
Do you know what? Yes, fuck it. You two have the inspiration.
Thank you, entire day of listening to true crime podcasts.
You guys stop the flow of the water from the waterfall, and funnily enough, it doesn't trap you back inside. All right, what do you guys want to do now?
Now we leisurely still run and go and leave without falling in the death hole.
You could still potentially fall in death hole, but do you know what? For the sake of that was just too cool.
We're being very cautious.
You guys being very, very cautious, taking your time, working your way around, using your ingenious acrobatic skills, because I think Yola's most of you is dexterous as fuck.
Yeah.
Or strong as
Mine
hell.
would be athletics because I have no dex.
Yeah. So yeah, between the three of you, help one another get into this kind of like hole that has appeared on the other side. It's not a particularly wide hole. It's probably about maybe our standard unit of a dwarf and a half wide and about a dwarf and a half high.
I was about to ask.
Yes, it's dwarf and a half high and half dwarf and a half wide. And this is roughly hewn, and it's making its way down. And essentially, there are no torches. You are descending into darkness.
Hello, everyone. Balance here, voiced by Arch. Thank you very much for listening. Your continued support is greatly appreciated as we continue to grow and expand and try to reach a wider audience. If you haven't already, please go leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. We have been struggling a bit for those lately, and it greatly helps us to reach a larger audience so we can continue to grow our community. Speaking of community, if you haven't already seen, on our Twitter, which is at TLDpod, we have recently established a Discord server where all of you, the fans, as well as us, the cast, can get together and chat, whether it be about the podcast itself, the most recent episodes, or just off-topic discussions, or, in the case of some people we've seen, fan art. If you have any fan art you'd like to submit, you're welcome to go on the Discord and post them in the fan art chat. We have a fair amount of fan art already that we quite enjoy looking at, including custom emojis for our Discord server done by the wonderful Sam Relim on Twitter. Beyond that, as I mentioned, check us out on Twitter at TLDpod. You can find our individual Twitters on there as well. And I think that is about it. Thank you all very much for listening, and until next time, farewell.
The
Spot Network. Imagine what your idea can do.